Hyperback.
How much? 13 seconds?
Yeah.
Suppose it's not
10.
like
Oddly
7.
specific.
9, 8, 7,
Steak and onions.
6, 5, 4,
I put lemon on instead of deodorant.
2, 1, 0.
Welcome, everyone. This is your tropical mix. We have all of the mix and all of the flavor. My name is Nathan, and we can't wait to let you walk with us as we dive into the soundtracks of the soundtracks of the 16 and the 8-bit, the soundtracks that just hit. This is Nathan, and I'd like to welcome my fellow podcasters, my casters. To the right of me, as Zoom has made by Destiny, is Brett.
Hi guys.
On my screen, it's not. He's at the left.
And then just right on cue, after Brett, is Cullen. Cullen is not speaking today, so that's going to make his contribution difficult. And then finally to the
Unlike
right of
Jack and Jack 1.
that I don't know, I have air conditioning, but that just something flew over my head. And then to the right of him is Gabe.
Howdy doody.
And we are here to talk about our soundtracks, the ones that we love from the video games we play.
So,
How are y'all doing today?
Brett,
Good. What?
how are you doing today?
I'm good. I got woken up early.
From what?
By what?
Someone.
The cock outside at the crack of dawn?
Lately, there's been a car alarm going off like every 2 days.
Oh my god, yeah, our neighbors, like, I don't know what they're doing. Sitting on their car keys or something, but
That can't be
Hate when
comfortable.
that happens.
Or you could have no
No.
car key.
I hope it's
True.
a fob so that they don't get like
This is
Stabbed.
my car key.
that's just a phone.
It's
Yeah.
just a phone.
It's my car key, though.
That's so high tech. You just
Is your-
tap it on the door. Or
No,
what?
when you get in proximity of it, you just open the door. And then when you walk
Just-
out of the proximity, it just locks.
Do you have to Google Pay like a microtransaction every time you enter your
Nice.
car? Just
No.
like bloop.
No, it's not 2047 yet.
That's foreboding.
Did you hear BMW is charging people in Europe for heated seats every month?
Toyota was doing that not too long ago, I
Yeah,
think,
that's just crazy, man.
for the RAV4s, I believe.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Anyway, I'm good. I'm excited for this.
This is
I got some,
This is a big boy.
I got some, move. I got some soundtracks on vinyl behind me.
Let me move my box.
Oh wow, okay.
Move my box.
So that's Hollow Knight. The one in the middle, I don't know what that is.
Rift Apart. It's very hard to tell from
Your Xbox screen.
Far away.
Yeah. And then some Halo soundtrack. I don't.
Halo Infinite. Yeah.
Okay, nice.
And you can't see mine behind me, you guys, but
You could unblur your screen.
in the video you'll see it. I got Jack and Daxter, Uncharted, Bloodborne, and Yakuza 0, but you can't see that anyway because this camera
Nice.
is outdated. Anyway, who would like to go first? I think we should go one by one around the table.
Do we want
Just
to do a
around
quick
the
round
riverbed.
robin of what people are playing these days?
Yeah, I think that'd be fun.
All right, do it.
All right, I'll start. I am playing Warhammer 3. Sounds about right.
Yeah.
That's me. I
Yeah.
love it. Yeah, it's a fun strategy game where you make rat men and lizard people fight each other, and it's it tickles an itch.
I'll tickle your itch.
Which itch is that?
Mm,
The one that you furiously itch until the blood comes out.
no.
Scabies.
Fear the old blood.
That's not what that is.
Hmm.
Well, maybe not in my experience.
No.
Ouch.
Gabe, what are you playing?
Well, I was wanting to scratch the itch that Horizon had done for me, just a big open, expansive world.
I saw your
Uh,
tweet.
yeah, because I would just beaten it. It was really good. Wanted more of it. So I picked up Cyberpunk again. Hadn't played it since launch because I was playing it on the Xbox One X, where it ran like just fine enough, but I wanted to just like wait until they had updated everything and I had gotten a next gen console. So I'm playing it again on Xbox Series X, and it runs perfectly. Like there's been no hiccups, and it's just a fun game to play overall. Like I enjoy the gameplay. I'm playing it on like the easiest setting, just so I can kind of just breeze through it, the story, um, and just like walk around the world because it's so cool. It's so expansive, and I just got to the mission where you meet Pan Am, and I hadn't gotten there in my first playthrough. So at the time, like the whole like internet was just like raving about her, and I didn't really get it because I hadn't played the game yet. So I just thought, oh, she's pretty. I mean, and then once you play the game and meet her, she's actually super cool, and she's might be my favorite character so far.
Nice.
I expect to play with that for like another 50 hours.
That's a time sink.
Yeah.
What
And then sorry.
Go ahead.
And then I've been playing a ROM hack of Pokemon Fire Red, where it's Gen 2 like remade with the graphics of
Dude,
the
Gen
Brett,
3.
I was telling you about that. Remember, Brett?
You were,
I showed
yeah.
you. I got a crystal version, yeah,
Oh, nice.
on my PSP.
Like right now you're playing that?
Well,
Well, he's got it, but
I,
Oh,
He's-
okay.
actively
I actually
playing
want to do it because I haven't played a Pokemon game in 52 years.
Yeah, they're fun.
Wait, Bert, go ahead.
No wait, Cullen, you go. I gotta grab something quick.
Alright, well, after 11 or 12 long years, I finally platinumed Vanquish. That was fun. I know you guys saw that message. And then I just finished yesterday. In about 24 hours, I did the Sifu PS4 version, got every trophy. And then I started Final Fantasy VII Remake for the first time.
Ooh, yes. But go on, say more.
Well, I just got to chapter 3. The story is pretty cool. I like all the characters, but I'm assuming the combat will get better as you get more stuff, but it's a little... Also, I'm not really a fan of I know they do this for like loading screens, but like walking in a tight spot. And they do that in like Uncharted 2. Yeah, it's really annoying.
There's a lot of that.
Yeah.
Going through the tight little alleys.
But other than that, it's interesting. Great graphics, so I'm gonna finish that for sure. Bert.
My turn now. What am I playing? I was playing Knights of the Old Republic 2. I was digging that, and then I don't know. There's a lot of backtracking in that game, so I'm kind of like, I don't know. I got tired of it for a second, but I decided I am going to get all the achievements in Master Chief Collection. So I've been working on that.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'm down to, I think, 25 left. So
Okay,
it's
but
mostly like
they don't know how many there are though. I
um.
mean, don't look. Just get it.
It's right here. There's a total of 7,000 gamer score, and there is 700 achievements.
God,
Oh,
wow.
So I lied. I have 27 left.
Still, it's impressive.
Yeah. So, and it's mostly like Lasso, which is legendary with all skulls and like speed runs. What else? Been playing a lot of Multiversus, which is in open beta right now. Having fun with that. And then I just bought this the other day, and we are doing a playthrough of it on the channel. But this game right
Ooh.
here.
Is that a Legacy of the Duelist?
The Eternal Duelist Soul.
Right.
So,
First
Yeah,
video
Cullen-
is up if you're interested in watching that.
yeah. Yeah, we were playing that 2 days ago. 2 days ago. So, yeah.
Is that
Very
the kind of Yu-Gi-Oh game where you just go from duel to duel to duel? And there's not really much of a...
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
it's
a
not
world.
like what. Yeah, it's not like the one you have where like you can walk around and everything. It's pretty much just like
Yeah, pick
you have
someone
5
with
characters.
Here's
You have 5
Tristan,
characters.
then
you
Taya,
have-
then...
yeah, I mean you can choose who you fight, and then like you have to beat each of them X amount of times, and it'll go to the next one.
Right.
And then like once a week, there's like a weekly duel, which you just randomly duel someone, and if you win, you get stuff. But it's like best out of 3, and I had to fight Weevil, and he kicked my ass.
Yeah.
So
That
yeah,
was fun.
playing that right now. And then like occasionally, like if some of the guys are on, we'll switch between like Rainbow Six Siege and Fall Guys and stuff like that. But it's kind of where I'm at.
Nice.
All right. Well, we should get to the main part, the soundtracks.
I feel like I don't know if this applies for you guys, but I feel like the soundtrack matters almost as much as the story or the gameplay. Like, I think it's one of those crucial elements of a game, and like
Well,
certain soundtracks just like elevate the game for me.
Well, I think the soundtrack probably even more than the story, because like you could play a game with a terrible story, and it still has good gameplay and a good soundtrack to capture you. Then the story doesn't really matter that much. I mean, think about like the old Mario games. There's no story in Mario.
You're saving a princess.
Yeah, that's the story in every single Mario game. So, that's my point. But the soundtracks and the gameplay. So.
Well, who wants to share their first? Do we want to do like overall soundtracks, or like do we want to start with like just certain tracks? Because I have a few tracks I wrote down that like.
Why don't Yeah, I don't.
I've prepared myself just for general soundtracks.
Me
but
too.
That doesn't... I think if you wanted to highlight specific ones, I think that's good.
Okay. I'll go first. My first album, and I mean I got it right there. I'm gonna go Hollow Knight. Like, Gabe, I don't know how much of the game you played, but like each area just has such a diverse like theme to it, and like it fits too, and like all the boss battle music is good, and like there's not a lot of like soundtracks I like listening to like in my free time, like when I'm not gaming, but like this is one of those. And like City of Tears from that album is just that's in my sleep playlist. It's so good.
What I liked about that soundtrack with the boss music is how like the sound design of the boss is almost added to the boss theme music.
It did, yeah.
Which made you. I think for some of them, there's just the way that they were constructed made me feel anxious. Which is I think what they wanted to achieve.
Yeah.
I'll add in my number 4, similarly following the Souls theme, Bloodborne, which has really haunting soundtrack and moments where it becomes clear by the theme, similar to what Brad was saying. It's like you can identify in your mind the area or the moment or the boss that matches with that theme, and it's all really it's terrifying, and that's a really powerful feeling for a soundtrack, I think, particularly in a video game where there's a lot of interactivity in a horror kind of context that's makes it very memorable.
I thought about putting Bloodborne, but there were just a couple more that I thought were better, so I didn't. And I think Bloodborne really excels in, like, kind of like what you said, but also, like, I think what adds to it is actually fighting, like, the bosses. Like, then you hear their roars and stuff while the soundtrack is playing, and I think that is what kind of brings it to the next level. When you listen to it on your own, you're, like, missing the sounds of the hunter and the boss and the weapons and the whatever, so...
Yeah.
So I brought it down just a tiny bit for me.
I never played the game, but I can just tell from seeing it that the music must make things feel more epic when you're fighting those bosses.
Definitely. Gabe, why don't you go next, I guess?
Sure. Yeah. I'll go next. So I've got 4 that I chose. 2 are from kind of like nostalgia standpoint, where maybe like if that music was like released now, it might not hit as good for me. But the first one is actually one for my kind of adult gaming life, and that's Celeste. That's a game as it was like as I was going through it, I was listening to the soundtrack on like I think at the time Spotify, and I liked it because I'd never heard a soundtrack like that in a game before. One track I want to point out is Resurrections, and then on top of that, Awake, which is like the track right after it. When combined, it's kind of like progressive electronic music where it's like 4 different songs between those 2 songs. It's super cool. And yeah, Lena Raine, the composer, is just so good at what she does.
I haven't played that game, so I don't really know much about it, but I know a lot of people do like it on like Reddit and stuff, so.
Well, what's your number 4, Cullen?
Oh, shit, it's my turn. I would say my number 4, I'd put the Yakuza series. Kind of, it's hard to specify one game, but like if you play Yakuza, you know how many incredibly great songs there are. And there's 7 mainline games. Then you have Ishin, which also has an amazing like samurai-ish theme soundtrack. So there's too many songs to go, but if you had to pick a few, there's like Friday Night. Everyone loves that.
The banger.
Yeah,
I think you got to play. I think you got to play just a little snippet of Friday Nights.
Oh, it's gonna play. Don't worry. We actually just heard Twin Dragons was just playing before this. That is one of the boss themes. And then, Nate, I know you know this one. The Shori PP, if you remember how that goes. The side story. It's just like...
Vibe.
It's just crazy.
The whole game's a vibe.
It is. So. Great stuff. Like I said, I have the vinyl back here, but you can't really see it at this moment, so... Yeah, that would be my number 4 pick.
All right. We want to just continue in the order we were in.
Yeah.
Nate.
Didn't you go first?
Number 3. No, Nate went first.
Oh, it was you, Brad.
No, it was me. I'm dumb.
Yeah, you are.
I am really dumb for real. Okay, my bad. I didn't know we were doing like an order to this, so like Hollow Knight would probably be my number 2.
Well, we're not doing
But-
an order, I don't think. But
My next one, and this one's just like one of those vibey soundtracks you can just vibe to. Stardew Valley. Awesome, like it's got that good 8-bit, 16-bit sound. It's kind of like Animal Crossing, where it's got like different themes for different parts of the day and whatnot. But there's just so much like good, heartwarming music. Like it makes you feel good. If I had to pick one, there's a certain event, I think in the summer, and there's a thing called Dance of the Moonlight Jellies. And like it's just, but honestly, like every song on that track, I think is really good. So
I think for a game like that, if its soundtrack is good, that's a good thing because you're playing the game for hours and hours.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean,
it has
like
to be music that sounds good still
Yeah, like-
after hours.
Animal Crossing's got that going for it. Harvest, like Cullen and I were listening to A Wonderful Life's soundtrack, and like I forgot how much like good music like that is on there too, and yeah, it just adds to the experience.
Also, in contrast, when playing through that Yu-Gi-Oh game, it was the same song every duel until you moved on to the second stage.
Mm-hmm.
So then the music kind of gets annoying at that point. You know, you have to do at least 10 duels before you get to the second stage. So hearing the same song 10 times in a row is kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Coming up for me, I would say that Undertale would probably be my number 3, and it's for the use of. I mean, it's. I think there's just a lot of talent for one individual to be able to coordinate so many elements of a game, but the composition of the tracks within Undertale are really great. They're again doing something important for me where listening to it signifies a moment that I'd felt during playing the game. And it does that really well. And there's some tracks that just kind of tug at some heartstrings, kind of in a way, not in a sad or heartbroken way, but in a way kind of like a longing for even like some of the choices that I made in that game, kind of like a regret or a remorse for how things could have been different.
Actually, Waterfall just finished playing as you were talking. So
It's a banger.
Good timing.
well, Gabe.
Yeah, I can go next. My next one, also not ranked, because it'd be hard to rank these for me.
Yeah.
Is another Lena Rain joint. So shout out to them. Chicory. This is just has the most upbeat, happy soundtrack I've heard. Even like the boss music is kind of upbeat because it's like dubsteppy, which is cool. Shout out to Dinners. That's the name of a city in the game. Once you get there, I remember when the tune kicked in, because there's kind of like a pre-verse that starts at the beginning. Once the actual song kicks in, it's just like it makes you feel just so happy and alive, and just it just makes you feel good. And there's a lot of music in that game, and I think with kind of like the messaging of the game, it makes sense that the music is the way that it is, and it reminded me a lot of the Game Boy Zelda games, and I think that's on purpose because it is very much like a Zelda-like game with dungeons and items to collect. Yeah, that's one of the Chicory and Celeste are kind of the only one like the soundtracks I can like listen to still, and enjoy them.
I never heard of that game, but when you sent me
Chicory?
the song to add,
Yeah, he's mentioned it in a few videos.
Okay. I mean, like
Sure.
you know, I don't know what the gameplay is like, whatever. But besides you just describing it as Zelda-y, but that song you told me to add, that song went hard, honestly.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
He was sitting at the table and he's like, "Yo, this is actually pretty damn good."
Okay.
I guess next for me, I want to single out Uncharted 2, but really the Uncharted series as a whole. I think Uncharted 4 really captures that like scenario, like the pirate stuff, really well. But Uncharted 2 was just, I can remember like how I was like 15 and just I memorized every single song, the title, like basically how the length of every song. I bought the soundtrack. Like me and my sister and Brett, we used to do this, like play guess the song in the car, and we like we would like, and I would get every single Uncharted 2 song correctly, which is pretty crazy. But and then like I said, 4 kind of sounds Pirates of the Caribbean. You know, it's clearly inspired because I guess that's kind of the go-to pirate sound now. But it also like retains elements from the original soundtracks, but just makes it like an evolved version, like after 10 years of playing the originals or whatever. So the whole series, like I said, is great, but really the feeling I get when I hear an Uncharted 2 song is really special.
Yeah.
Nate's theme 2.0 does slap.
Yep.
Every title menu track.
Yeah.
It's just fantastic. Every single one. Just a lot of brass, a lot of adventure,
A lot of brass.
feeling.
Yeah.
Bang bang, and it's just like it's great. It's a good pick.
Ow.
The music, like from the title, is the only music from Uncharted that stays in my head. But maybe I need to play the games again.
Well, I guess like I would play the multiplayer a shit ton. So like when you got back to the menu, like waiting to the next game to load, it would pull up a random song from the soundtrack. So that's how I kind of got used to it also.
Okay. My number 3 would be the Skyrim soundtrack. I mean, honestly, the only song I don't like on the soundtrack is the fighting track. Every time you like get into a battle with something, and it's not even that it's a bad theme. It's actually, I really like it. It's just with how often you could run into combat in that game, you could be hearing this like every like minute or so. Or, you know, if you're actually like walking along like pathways and everything, like maybe only every like 15 minutes or so, but it's kind of like the random Pokemon battle music in like Red and Blue. Like it's good. It just gets to a point where you just hear it too much and it's whatnot. But I mean, like there's just a song for everything in Skyrim. A lot of it's just like, it's that comforting, like you're exploring and you got the comforting music in the background, you know. The menu theme is just epic. If I had to pick a track, and like I've been like listening to the Skyrim soundtrack the last like week or so, pretty much like if I'm cleaning or doing anything, I'd put that on in the background.
Okay, but
Oh my god, I don't know. Cullen walked in one time and I forgot what the title of the track was, but Cullen's like terrible grammar.
let me pull it up. You keep talking while I find it.
But yeah, like after listening to it for a week, I think if I had to focus on one track, it would be Frostfall, which is, I think, when you're walking around like in the northern areas and it's all snowy and whatnot. So there's like violins, and then when that kicks in, it just sounds so good. Did you find it?
No.
I need to hear some Whiterun in
Dude,
by the campfire music.
The Whiterun music's good too. basically everything on this album is good. Was it? Was it Night Without Stars?
No. I'm looking. Hold on. Wind Guide You.
Oh yeah, Wind Guide You. I mean, I think it makes sense, but
I mean, it is what it is. Anyway, I just wanted to point out that the grammar doesn't really make sense. Well, Gabe, I guess it's your turn.
it's Nathan.
Rip.
I'm trying to find out why this next one even belongs on my list, but perhaps as I talk it out, it might make sense. Transistor's soundtrack. I mean, it's a soundtrack where, I mean, if you remove much of it's so much of the soundtrack very much sounds like not a video game soundtrack. But Ashley Barrett and Darren Korb's collaboration really shines through, and it's just a great. I guess I'm trying to think about ways I could be detailed about this, but it's just a great soundtrack, and perhaps I think because it's just so complementary to the game and to the story, and one kind of key element that how it ties into the gameplay a little bit. There are moments when you could, the playable character could, with a button, start singing with their sword, and it would be. I mean, it would. No, I'm sorry. I don't know if it was more of a humming. I don't think it was as much of a singing, but it would be to one of the themes of the soundtrack. And I think perhaps that's why it sticks out to me, is that it implements the soundtrack in a way that's much more integral to the experience and can feel like a pretty large component of the character itself, who part of their backstory was actually as a singer, and if I remember right, much of what had happened to them in their story was kind of what they were speaking out against politically, I believe. Gabe, you played it. Does that sounds right? It's been a while.
I don't remember that part. I thought it was just because she was famous. That's why stuff happened. But I was going to add that, yeah, those parts of the game where you could just put down your weapon and like hum to like, and it was cool because it was like, it would change from like area to area, like the music, you would hum the different, like you would harmonize with the music. It was really cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Is that, do you know if that's by Supergiant, right?
It is.
Do you know if the same people did the Hades soundtrack?
Probably.
That's what I assume, but
yeah, it's Red, who is the main character, is a famous singer. But this Wikipedia, I think part of the gameplay is you kind of see perhaps some of the elements of their story, and kind of how it fused with their musical, through their art.
Cool.
My next one is the first of my two nostalgic ones. That's Kingdom Hearts 2. First off, I just got a big shout out to Dearly Beloved, which is on each game, but just kind of arranged differently. But this one just makes me, most of the tracks on the soundtrack bring me back to a summertime, which is when I finished the game for the first time. I think this was the first like soundtrack to a game I played where it felt epic, like boss battles felt epic, and this just made you feel like a badass, as Sora, even with how goofy he looks. Um, I liked how the soundtrack just kind of made you feel different things. Like there's happy music, sad music, melancholy music. I liked how the themes for Sora and Roxas were very opposite, which played into like the plot of the game. Um, and then the theme from Twilight Town, from when you play as Sora, the afternoon streets, just makes me think of summer. That's a song on the soundtrack, and it makes me think the most of summer, just because um, it's a good time.
So, which dearly beloved is your favorite?
Oh gosh, I think the one from 3.
3. I like the Birth by Sleep one.
Oh, that one's good too.
Well, I mean, they're all good, yeah. But
There's there's a one from Melody of Memory. That's like the one that's like jazzy. That one's cool too.
I was gonna say, like, I did really enjoy the music when I was playing through that last year. I think I'd actually have to go back and listen to it. I think right now I would say I think I enjoyed Kingdom Hearts 1 a little more, but that could just be nostalgia talking. That Traverse Town music it's a bop.
Yep.
It's really good.
Nate, what do you have to add about Kingdom Hearts? Anything?
Thought I hit car. That's it.
What? I don't even know what you said.
Without I hit car.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
As far as music goes.
Yoko Shimomura also. She's a great composer.
Well, yeah. I like that they do renditions of Disney songs too, right? Kind of.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. Next for me, it's gonna be crazy. Nobody's gonna believe this. I want to put Street Fighter 3.
What?
Listen. Okay. No, yeah. I remember buying Street Fighter 3 for the first time when it came out on the PS3 and Xbox, but I bought it on the PS3. Okay, because remember before that, it only came out basically on a Dreamcast and was super expensive. Although there was a PS2 version that came out in like 2007 or something. But anyway, so I bought it, and I feel like everyone likes the Street Fighter 2 soundtrack in some way, or they know the songs at least. But Street Fighter 3 is just beautifully crafted. It really fits like the actual outside fighting in the street vibe. And then like the percussion they use in that game is honestly
Can I stop you?
Yes.
You said the fighting in the street vibe. Can you describe what that's like?
I got this. Dong Ying backlot.
Okay, got it.
No one's gonna understand that except for us.
It's okay. Basically, like I don't know, but like when you think about somebody fighting in the street, do you think of like Guile's theme or like like a little atmospheric drum beat? What makes more sense, like if you're fighting outside, I guess.
I mean, Guile's theme goes with everything. So.
Guile's theme goes with everything, but that's what I mean. It's like electronic-y, and it doesn't really logically make sense. Versus Street Fighter 3 makes perfect sense. I feel like they spend a considerable amount of time finding the correct percussion and instruments to create tracks. So then when I was just replaying it a few months ago to get the final trophies for it, I was like, I forgot how good this is. It has like hip hop kind of songs too, so it like really went with a little of everything. similar to Guile's theme. So, shout out to other Street Fighter soundtracks, such as the Street Fighter 4 theme, the Next Door Indestructible. That's how you open a video game.
Is there a track from 3 you could play that would give us an idea of?
Yeah, but didn't we try that and it didn't work very well?
I mean, try it again. If it doesn't work in like 3 seconds, then
all right,
we'll skip that. But
well, here's what we're gonna do, boys. Give me 1 second.
Give us that fight in a street vibe.
Yeah, I will. All right. Just give me one moment to pull up the correct song, eh? All right. This might hurt your ears, boys. Yeah, see? Do you guys hear that or no? I don't know what that was.
Yeah. Okay, that's not gonna work.
Like some EDM dubstep.
It did.
Well, you know what? You'll hear it when you watch the video because there's a song that plays kind of. We already heard the Street Fighter 3 Ryu theme, so pretty early in the video. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Bert, your final pick, I guess.
Okay, if I had to be if I had to pick a number 1 soundtrack, this would be it. The series has just good music all around. That would be Halo. But if I had to select a certain game, I would go with Halo 2. Halo 1 was like, I mean, that like set the stage for where they could go with this music. You know, you got the chanting, like the iconic chanting that came from 1, but 2 just kind of took everything that the Halo 1 soundtrack had and just like amplified it. The main theme is the same theme, but like now it's like an electric guitar version. Steve Vai does the guitar on that. It's got a rocking solo. But then also on this album featured is Breaking Benjamin, Incubus, and Hoobastank. And they all did a song for it.
Didn't know Hoobastank was on there.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest. Incubus's and Hoobastank's songs aren't like super good. But the Blow Me Away, which is the Breaking Benjamin song, is a really good song. But also it like... the point in the game where it kicks in, it's like the second to last level and you enter a room and you got 2 forces fighting each other, and like obviously they don't sing in that version, but like just getting the guitar riffs on there is just fucking epic, and it just makes your blood like pumped. But then even just the rest of the soundtrack's really good. It feels like you're in a sci-fi war, which is what I think they were going for. I think it's better than Halo 3's just because Halo 3 kind of tones everything down a little, which isn't a bad thing. It's still a very good soundtrack. I think 2 is just so much better than the rest of